It's always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot woot. Hi everyone, this is Julie from Patchworks, and I am so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV here tonight at Patchworks. So super excited to be sharing with you our Moda University. We have some really great things. We skipped last week and we have some really great things that we have planned for the rest of the month for you. So don't fear. We're getting lots of really great fabrics every day, and we have lots and lots and lots to show you. So today I have Frank behind the camera and I am here at the console. I am also managing the chat as well and posting any links. So if I miss anything, don't worry, we'll be able to check back after our stream to be able to answer any additional questions that you have. But what I do want to share with you is that if you have questions along the way, make sure to jot them down in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to do my best to address those. So we have a gorgeous quilt behind us, and we'll be talking a little bit about that. So I do want to welcome all of you. This is our Must Sew TV Moda University segment. And so what that is, if this is your first time joining us, because I know as people have been shop hopping and things like that, you might be new to our live streams. So once a month, we feature our Moda fabrics, and we like to feature our newest collections, share that fabric with you, and then after we share the fabrics, we also show a project to you, so we keep you up on all the good latest stuff. Let's look overhead, Frank, and we are going to look at our fabric options here. So we have 6 options that we're going to be sharing with you today. And the first one that I want to talk to you about is Strawberry Friends by Kimberly Kite for Ruby Star Society. So every month for our fabric selections, we put together bundles of 12 fabrics that are available in either a fat 1/8 size or a fat 1/4 size. So this isn't the fabric selection for this one, but I just wanted to show you, you have 2 options. If you aren't a part of the club, you are able to choose to just come in and join for just this 1 month. The fat 1/8 pack is $24.99, and the fat 1/4 pack of all 12 is $44.99. I just love, love, love. This is so super cute. We'll look at the full line later, but you can see mini strawberries, the strawberry seeds, some really cute flowers here. And this really reminds me of some 70s kind of calico. And then you have that plaid. We have strawberries in a few different colors. Mini strawberries here, the seeds in 3 different colors. And we wanted to round out the collection here. I did throw in a speckled, so we did receive more fabrics from the line, but I thought to have our yellow, pink, and orangey story here, I wanted to have that extra gold. So that's why I included that one. Next up, we have Flower Pot by Lella Boutique. Now, we don't get a lot of Lella Boutique, but this particular line, which is autumnal, is, I thought, so gorgeous. And so we have the navies and these kind of olivey taupes with the rusts here, really muted rusts, and this lighter fabric here. Gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. And then I love here that we have some word prints. So fun, so fun. So once again, we'll be looking at that whole collection a little bit. We have Midnight in the Garden, which is by Sweet Fire Road, and that fabric line is used in the quilt that is behind me. There's a beautiful quilt kit that goes along with this fabric line, and these have some gorgeous apples, and they also have bees, and we have some really cute, gorgeous fabrics. I wouldn't necessarily call them cute. They're very chic, they're very on trend, and the bees are super awesome because for June is National Pollinator Month. So, got to make sure we talk about our bees. Next up, we have a few other fabric lines. Let me line those up for us. Dun, dun, dun. All sorts of great things. They just keep coming. Okay, so we have 3 additional pieces here. We have a blue color builders. So we have a combination of different things. And if you aren't familiar with our color builders, for 2022, we're including grunges and thatched and spotted and little pieces from other fabric lines so that we can just have a whole nice spectrum. You can either get that in the fat eighth. Oftentimes the fat quarters have been the popular assortment for the popular size for that because you're just adding to your stash. So really, really, really nice. Then we have Renew by Sweetwater, and this is really fresh and light and vibrant. Lots of great text, great words in here. Really classic Sweetwater. Love, love, love this, and it works backwards to some of my favorite lines from Sweetwater. And then we have the last one I'd like to show you is the Cheer and Merriment by Fancy That Design House. And Stephanie Slewinski is the designer from Fancy That Design House, and she is local to New Berlin, and it's really cool to have a local designer that works for Moda and designs for Moda. So we have reds and these golds, blues, and into this pine green. We'll be checking out the rest of her collection in a little bit. So as I clear off my table that I have in front of me of these selections, and we'll go over all 6 selections at the end of our program as well, because I know some of you tune in later or you just want a quick recap of all the amazing fabrics that we have available. So we offer 6 different fabrics this month. If you like more than one, you can choose more than one. If you don't like any, you're always able to go back into the buffet of previous month's offerings. And if you're watching for the first time tonight and you're like, oh, Julie, I really like that 12-pack, well, you can just buy that 12-pack a la carte, no problem. We love to be able to hook you up with fabric that inspires. So we are going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into this gorgeous fabric, which is behind me. And this is the Midnight in the Garden by Sweet Fire Road. We have all of the yummy fabrics on the bolt. And then we have some pre-cuts as well as this great box kit. So Heidi went ahead and she did make a 3x3 set here. So behind me there are 5 bees and then 4 beautiful star blocks. Now this is such large blocks that we thought just having a sampling of sharing with you those 9 blocks would be ample to get a really nice feel for the great look of this quilt. So Frank, let's look overhead. And you can see here that we have this gorgeous box kit. It finishes 83 by 78, so a near square quilt. And this does not have any borders on it, so you could easily extend it with a beautiful border to make it larger, to fit your bed. Inside the box, you do have this really super cute needle minder. And a needle minder is something that you can attach to your person, and it is magnetic so that you can stick your needle to it and it will just keep it close at hand for your project that you're working on. If you follow Sweetfire Road on any of the social media channels, queens or bees are near and dear to her heart. So you'll want to check out that and the story on that. I can see making a runner of just bees or just the star blocks. And then you have all of the fabric that you need to construct the top and the binding. You will want to add fabric for your backing to this. It includes this really nice tone-on-tone print here. I think you can see that there. This kit retails for $159.99, so that is a great value price. You have lots of amazing fabric, and it does include not only the fabric, but the pattern. If you're looking to make it a slightly different size or change the fabric arrangement, we do have that fabric available, or that pattern available as a standalone pattern. You can find that on our website. And let me just quick grab that link for you here for the Midnight in the Garden. It will have all of the links for not only the fabrics, but also the patterns that I'm showing you as well. A little bit more traditional pattern that came with this collection, which I thought would be super cool to show you, is Evening Primrose, and that's by It's So Emma. And this particular pattern is available for size in crib, lap, and twin, which is really nice that you can choose how to scale that from either a 39 by 39 up to a 72 by 89. And once again, I think that this would be a relatively easy pattern to just maybe add a couple borders to, if you even wanted to make that twin size just a little bit larger. And we have the pre-cuts as well of the layer cake, jelly roll, and charm pack. We put together half yard and fat quarter towers of the whole line. So while we're working on this right here, since this is a 4-purchase pattern, I am not going to be stepping this particular pattern out. We're going to be looking at a little bit different project, but I want to show you here this really amazing fabric, and the apples have been going bananas. Absolutely bananas. The apples have been going bananas. I'm kind of crazy. I crack myself up. Frank's laughing over there. So this is that apple print that everybody's just going so gaga over. And there are 27 fabrics in this collection. So beautiful. So I see that there are a few of you joining us while you are traveling. So thank you so much for tuning in while you are out and about. I always am super grateful for all of you who like and share our feeds here. Oh, look at this. This is just so beautiful. And this cool pollinator print. You could have an apple quilt, you could have a rose quilt, you could have this interesting piece here. I think this is very Morris-esque because it's that arts and crafts style, and there's that symmetry in there. So that's why I'm calling it Morris-esque. So if you're unfamiliar with that term, whenever you see a print like this that has that symmetry, you can use that term and just sound super smart. All right, so that is Midnight in the Garden. So now what I'd like to talk to you about is another really amazing fabric line that is Strawberry Fields. So that is our Ruby Star collection. Now I know that we haven't had tons of options, and so you'll be seeing, I think we should be seeing some more Ruby Star coming in pretty shortly. Sometimes they ship in bundles, which is kind of cool. And so for the Strawberry Friends, did I call it Strawberry Fields? Strawberry Friends is a repeat of the gorgeous strawberry print done up in a whole bunch of different ways. And there is a really cool, let me find where it is. I have lots to show you today, so it's super exciting. Okay, so one of the things that I really like with a lot of the Ruby Star things are, I don't know if you've seen this at all, it's the looper pattern, and we haven't had it in on the shelf, but we've special ordered it for people, and we brought it in this time to put on the shelf because it's super cool. And if you follow Miss Make on social media, she has a really cool video that goes along with this particular pattern. So it's this very 70s groovy kind of pattern where you can create your own designs by using a combination of this strip and then this little curve to make a variety of different shapes. So if we look overhead, you can see that you could do, these are some basic concepts for how you could do the loops here, but it's just really kind of fun to have a nice little rainbow here. And it's very unique with modular blocks that can be rearranged in any direction. So lots of fun using 6 different fabrics. Really super cute range of fabrics here. I know we're missing a couple bolts. Not sure if they are going to be shipped or not at this point. So we did receive one of the yogurt, and I think we're short 2 yogurt colors. But these strawberries, oh, they're just so yummy. So yummy. I'm going to include that link for you for the Strawberry Friends. And now we've rearranged all of the Ruby Star in the store so that it is organized by color. So it's super cool to have the basics blended in with the different feature lines, and see how everything works together. It's just really super cool. So our project that we're going to be talking about for this month leads right into our Ruby Star. So Ruby Star is having a quilt along starting on Monday, I believe, and it is for the summer sew along. So I have, for club members, you're going to get a black and white copy. The reason why you're getting a black and white copy is so that you can imagine it in any particular color that you would like. I have a little graphic here. So it's a free and downloadable pattern that is available from the website. And for those of you that are following along at home, it is this right here, so anybody can download it. Super cool. This is cut down from different fat quarters in the original pattern. And I'm just going to show you here a grid-like. So there's a combination of these squares, colored squares, with a background and then a dark square in the center. I'll show you what I mean. So for the size that's, you're cutting 5-inch squares from here. So I'm going to also show you how you can use some charm squares. It would finish 67.5 by 67.5. So it's called the Perfect Picnic Quilt, which is great for just being a tablecloth or just a bring around, you know, while we're getting ready for great summer fun. But this plaid is super awesome. So sometimes we see the plaid where you only have the 3 colors, where you have that light, medium, and dark, but I really like how the mediums here are nice and blended. So if you get our club packs and you get the fat quarter size, which is right here, our fat quarter size is 12 fat quarters. This pattern calls for 10 fat quarters, and then you need 1.25 yards of light and 1.1 yards of dark. Okay, so that is if you want to cut your own 5-inch squares. But I know I have a lot of you who've been asking me for patterns and for kits of things that things are a little bit more cut up, because especially as we're hopping into summer, we want to have something fun and easy, right? So what I thought we would do is I converted it for you into what your charm pack requirements are. Oh, how exciting is that? Charm pack requirements, no cutting involved. So this literally is taking 5-inch squares and putting them together. Come on, it's June. It's 90 degrees outside. We are so ready to just play with some fabric, sew it together, have a quick finish, and just be ready to go out and enjoy some summer rays, right? So we have here, we have some, we're going to be working with here the Camellia, and the Camellia is a ruby star that we showed you a couple months ago. We still have, if you had wanted to get a fat stack of this, we think we have one available, or we could make one up for you. If you wanted to make this particular size for the 67 by 67, it would require 64 light squares, 49 dark squares, and 112 medium squares. So what does that mean? Frank, let's look overhead. So that means we would want to make the full pattern, we would want 2 charm packs of light, if we wanted all charm packs, 3 charm packs of our feature fabric, and 2 charm packs of a dark. So here I am using Bella Solid Color 11, Bella Solid Color 20, and the Camellia. I'm going to lay it out for you just a few blocks in front of me, just so you can see how this looks and see how quick and easy this goes together, and how satisfying it is to work with squares. I know we don't do a lot of pre-cut projects, and so this particular project would be super fun to just hop along with you there. So I am seeing in the comments here that Diane is having a little bit of a challenge with our feed, and I don't know if anybody else can comment if anyone else is having an issue. This is being saved, so if there is some sort of transmission issue, it will absolutely be available in its full entirety and content, and we would make sure to re-upload it to both our YouTube and Facebook channel. So hopefully, Diane, that will resolve for you, and hopefully it's not a widespread issue. I know technology can sometimes be a little crazy, but that is the joy of how it is that how we're always doing it. So even if I end up losing you completely, we are recording it on our end. We are on here. So I'm just nodding with Frank. We're just talking about all the technology in code. All right, so let's look back overhead and let's look at how we are going to assemble this. So the pattern shows us how we're going to make a couple different units. Super, super simple, right? Super, super simple. If you're cutting out of your fat quarters, you're able to get 12 5-inch squares from every fat quarter. If you are cutting from a fat eighth, you're only able to get 4, okay? So the fat eighth is not necessarily the most efficient use for cutting for this for getting this whole size, because if you want to make this full size, you would need 28 fat eighths. 28 fat eighths. Oh my goodness. So this is very fat quarter friendly or pre-cut friendly. And then we'll also talk about if you wanted to make it different size, how big those would be. So it is light. Let me make sure I have this positioned right. Oh, it's going to come back down. Light, medium, light, medium, dark, medium, and of course you would want to mix these up if you were working so that you wouldn't have all teal and such. So literally, I mean, like, how crazy, insanely simple is this, right? Okay, so we're really talking 9 patches that we're building on, okay? And the reason why I'm saying building on, because you have light, dark, or light, medium, light, medium, light, medium, light, medium, da 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 da. Okay, so we're going to set this over just a little bit. Dun 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 da da dun. So it's really important for this pattern to emerge for you to keep the same light and dark fabrics, okay? They don't have to be solids, they can be prints. But for it to really pop, you will want it to be solid here, or you will want it to be the same fabrics so that you can see the pattern emerge. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. So you won't go entirely too much longer. I just want you to be able to see this pattern here. Super fun. The more fabrics you have, the less you have to worry about how it all gets arranged, right? Because you won't have to worry about things touching each other. Now you can see here as I'm laying this out, the one thing that I do want to share with you here as you're laying it out. Oh, okay, so another thing, when you're working just with a charm pack here, so you see now this light one, I don't want to have it be a medium, right? It's too light, it would blend in. So there might be a few pieces that you're going to toss away for a different project, and that's okay. All right, so in order to have this really work, you will want to make sure that you keep it odd. So right now I have an even. So see here, I have my light on this side, but it doesn't end. So to have your plaid end, you would want to make sure that you're going to end in a, let's see, dun dun dun, you understand. Fun, quick, and easy for going together and making a satisfying summer quilt. So this is, the finished size ends up being 15 across and 15 down for a square quilt. If you wanted to, and then you would need 4 1/4 yards of backing, and if you're making your own binding, it would be 5 5/8 yards. No, only 5/8 yards. Or you could go ahead and take 8 yards of bias binding by the yard. If you wanted to make it a different size, let me just put this overhead here so you can see my crazy notes. If you wanted to make it mini charm size, the same layout, it would end up finishing 30 by 30. And if you wanted to make it layer cake size, well, that would be pretty gosh darn giant. And so that would be 142 square. So that might be a little large for you. So instead of doing a 15 by 15 set, remember I said that you'd want to do a odd set. So what you could do then is an 11 by 11 set for a 104 by 104 quilt. And once again, if you wanted to, you could make it any size that you wanted to. So you could turn it into a rectangle here, okay? So I think this is just a really, really, really great, great launch pad for making a fun, simple quilt. I know it's not that complicated, and you guys are like, oh, Julie, you don't need to tell us how to make this. But you know what? Seriously, I've seen these plaid quilts before. I know you have too, and there's something really simple and appealing about it. And I thought that, especially with the quilt along happening next week, that'd be really great to be able to just jump on with that, collaborate with that. And if you choose to participate in the sew along, you're going to want to use the hashtag or follow the hashtag RSS Summer Sew Along for Ruby Star Society Summer Sew Along. They do most of their stuff on Instagram, but I'm sure that there's carryover by Moda onto their Facebook site. Free, fun, easy, just to have some camaraderie, sharing, playing along, and I think it's lots of fun. So if you were thinking, you know, I might want to go the charm pack route, Julie, but I'm not quite a Ruby Star Society person. Well, I can't even imagine that you might like different fabrics. Of course, you love all the fabrics just like I like. But what I did want to share with you is I gathered up all the charm packs that I had in the store that I could easily gather. We probably have more. But a lot of people don't think we have a lot of pre-cuts. We actually do. We have them stored by the fabric collections typically. And right now I'm super excited because we've just gotten a lot of shipments of stuff. So we do have a lot to share with you. So let me quick pull over that little box here. And Frank, let's just quick look overhead. So we have Too Cute to Spook, which is a brand new line that I'll be telling you about in a little bit. We have Stay Gold by Melody Miller, which is another gorgeous Ruby Star Society line. Of course, we just showed you the Camellia. We have Summer Breeze, which is very floral and summery breezy. Tulip Tango. If you had wanted to, if you have a layer cake, you could also take a layer cake, chop it in 4, so instead of having to buy 3 charm packs. Flower Pot by Lella Boutique. Renew by Sweetwater. Merry Making by Gingerbread. Cheer and Merriment by Fancy That Design House. Prairie Days by Bunny Hill Design. Newport by Minnick and Simpson. Frankie by Basic Gray. Crystal Lane by Bunny Hill Designs. Midnight in the Garden by Sweetfire Road. And Creativity Glows by Creativity Shell. Oh, and this one glows in the dark. This could be so much fun. Okay, so lots of charm packs to choose from. If you had wanted to, remember, you want to make it that size, you want to have 3 of the focus fabric, right? And then for your background fabric, you would want 2, or get 1.25 yards of yardage and just chop that up. Or if you have one of those AccuQuilt, you can do that. But it really doesn't take long to chop up 1 piece of fabric for that. And then for those dark squares, you'll want to get 1.125 yards of solid fabric. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to gather these here. And what do you think? I think someone should get a starter for this, don't you think? So I think someone should get the single pack of the light, the dark, and 1 pack of Camellia. So to make the whole quilt, you'll have to get a little bit more, but I think this would be a really good prize. So what I would like you to do is that I need you to either be liking or sharing or commenting on this video. And then on next week, Thursday, someone is going to be winning this. Doesn't that sound like a good prize? So squares are going to be a little out of order, but I think you'll be able to make it work. So who's excited about that? Is anybody excited about this great little fun fabric prize? Woohoo! Addie's going to put her name in like 12 billion times, I can see. But you'll get one entry per a liking and a comment and a share. So thanks so much. And you have until next week, Thursday at midnight to make that happen. All right. So Wednesday at midnight. What? So Frank is questioning my logic. So we're doing the video next Thursday night where we're doing the drawing. So make sure it's before that and then early enough so that we can get your name in there. Wednesday at midnight. All right. So thanks for playing along. Lots of fun. Okay, so what else do I get to show you today? So I think we should go through some of the other really amazing fabric lines that we got in. What do you think? I think so. Okay, so which one should we go for next? Let's go for Flower Pot by Lella Boutique. So this is so beautiful here. Look at this. Oh, we'll make this go away. So this is the Flower Pot by Lella Boutique. And let me get that link here for your shopping pleasure or previewing pleasure. This is something that I had figured out. Oh, and yes, Renee, you had commented, this is really a great quilt for a new quilter to get started on. Absolutely, because you get that. It's not just sewing the squares together, but you have the satisfaction of being able to have that alternating pattern emerge. Okay, so we have our gorgeous Lella Boutique flower pot. Look at it, it's so pretty. So Frank, let's take a peek overhead and we are going to look at the fabric collection that we have. It's so weird to think about autumnal flowers. What do you think? This is late summer. Well, see, we need time to sew. And I said I really, really liked this particular print here. Well, I like lots of things that have words in it. You know that. And so we can think about all the different fun things with horticulture. Can grow our vocabulary by reading our fabric. So yes, you can share if there's ever a question. You can tell someone if they're concerned with the amount of fabric that you're buying from this collection. You just pull out the print and you said, I need to increase my vocabulary. So I had to buy some fabric from Julie at Patchworks. And they'll say, but of course, we're so happy that you are increasing your vocabulary. Ooh, let's see here. Hardiness, biennials, fertilizer, horticulture. So there's that meme that's out there for anybody who likes plants and gardening, and where it says, it's a guy from the Minions movie that grew, I guess, and he says, oh, we're not supposed to buy any more plants. And then he sees another plant and he's like, oh, but we'll buy one more plant, and then no more plants. And then buys two more plants. So last weekend, not last weekend, 2 weekends ago, it's been a long time. 2 weekends ago, I had, I wasn't going to buy any more flowers. And I went and I bought 2 dozen flowers. So maybe more, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to put them all. But I love flowers. Okay, so I digress. We have the beautiful flower pot collection, and we have all of the gorgeous pre-cuts that go along with it, and all of the yardage. Oh, so pretty. Okay. Then, what else do we have that I can show you? Oh, in Flowerland, not flower pot, but this reminds me, we have this brand new pattern that came in from Atkinson Designs. So Atkinson's Design, so Terry Atkinson, who did Yellow Brick Road, she also has a whole line of really amazing things. And this particular pattern, Posy Pops, is a table runner, a wall hanging, or a quilt, a square. You could, of course, do it bigger. I love it. I think it's really awesome, and their patterns are always written very well and very easily. Was super exciting every now and again. Terry comes and shops in the shop. We saw her a few weeks ago as she was touring through Wisconsin in her, as she travels around in her RV, and it's always a pleasure to see her. And I got a sneak peek of a new pattern that's coming down the way. So super exciting. So Posy Pop is available on our website as well as in store. And it is 2.5-inch strip or fat quarter friendly. Ooh, super cool. So you could even make some with your flower pot fabric. All right, so what else do I have to show you? Well, talking about patterns, I know we have all been really waiting and excited for, let me make this go away here, excited for Doug Lako's brand new book. It is here. And the really cool thing about it is that not only is it here, and it has 20 magnificent patterns and projects to make really amazing things, but it's featuring a lot of the fabrics that I'm showing you tonight. So how cool is that? So there are projects here from Midnight in the Garden, all sorts of really fun, great things. So let's look overhead and just scan through, Frank. So you can see the cover here and the nice bound edge. So if you didn't know, Doug spiral binds his books, and each of his Table-tastic versions has a different color spiral. So you can easily just grab it off your bookshelf if you need to use it. So the Table-tastic 3 is spiral bound in black. He always does really great pattern writing, clear to read, nice colorful illustrations. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I cannot wait to start making some of these with you. You know that we are going to be working with these, so you can pick up your copy today, $24.99 in store and online. How many of you have made any of Doug's patterns? I know we've had a lot of fun with him at the store, and we've had the privilege of having him in the store before, and we've had him teach class, we've had him do trunk shows, we've had his quilts hanging, we've made a bunch of his stuff, just really fun stuff. He's from Minnesota, and I love that he just keeps on designing all sorts of really amazing things. We've been waiting for this book for a really long time, and I am just excited. So I hope you are too. We had in some of the other fabrics that I showed you today, I have from the Renew fabric line, I have the pre-cuts, and I do have a fat quarter tower of the whole collection. We did get a slightly tighter grouping of the prints in store, and I believe maybe we only got the 12 prints that we featured in our fat stack here, potentially. Maybe we got 15, but I know we got a tighter collection of these as they work backwards into some really great things. And I know sometimes we like to use some of these type of prints we use for smaller projects. So super fun. That is our Renew collection that we have by Sweetwater. It is time to hop into some holiday sewing. I know it's really hard to think that it's almost time to start thinking about Christmas sewing. So this year, we have started having our Christmas and Halloween fabrics starting to roll in. So always exciting when that happens because, well, you know, what do we quilt for? We quilt for the holidays, we quilt for graduations, we quilt for babies, we quilt for weddings. But, you know, for holidays, it's really fun to like make some really nice quick projects or make bigger projects along the way. You never know. And I have some fabric to just start inspiring you. We'll be seeing and working with some projects into July. But as you know, you might have been seeing some of these things. I've been getting a lot of calls about Christmas fabric. So I thought, you know, let's pull it out. Let's start to show you with what this fabric line is. So this fabric line has 29 fabrics and then a panel. So Frank, let's look overhead at the fabrics. So continues in, so this is the third fabric line from Fancy That Design House. This was releasing at the exact same time as her fall line, and I only brought in the Cheer and Merriment because of the popular response that we're getting to her fabrics. Don't worry, we'll continue to carry them. I just wasn't sure because the time we were ordering them, we hadn't even gotten our songbook in. But we are expecting later this year the Songbook 2, which is like a reprint and some extra prints of that original Songbook collection. Stephanie does a lot of other illustration things, and so she has t-shirts and cards and mugs and tea towels and all sorts of really, really beautiful things. So this is a very on-trend palette here. We do have the layer cake, the jelly roll, the charm pack. I'll be showing you a kit in just a moment. The panel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it and we're going to look at it overhead here. So because this is really intended to be cut apart, so we can look at each of the different motifs up close a little bit better than if I had it held in front of me. So we have Peace on Earth, All is Calm, All is Bright. So these can be cut to 12-inch size. Her motifs have a little bit more of a true Christmas flavor to them. So oftentimes, you know, we are looking at Santa or snowmen, but not always having the spirit of Christmas being reflected. Holy Night, make spirits bright. It's the most wonderful time of the year. We have 3 small labels, and then you have a border print. So this would be most appropriate to be chopped up and put into other projects. One of the projects that this can be put in is the Cheer and Merriment Box Kit, or quilt. You wouldn't be making a box kit, you'd be making a quilt. So this is a 58 by 66 quilt. And in the pattern, I really love this pattern. It has 2 different design options. One where you put in some of the panel squares, and the other one where you opt not to use the panel squares and you simply put in pieced squares, or these pieced trees. So we'll be making this particular quilt, but this just came in and we didn't have a chance to make it yet, so it's still going to be made in the process. You're going to need a panel, a fat eighth bundle of the whole collection, and then an accent for flying geese, a background, and binding. This will require 3 3/4 yards of backing. And you get this ample collection of fabric here. Super fun. So this particular kit is $129.99, so that's a really great price. And it is a 58 by 66 inch size project, so it's not super huge. You could make it larger with a nice border on it. And that's what I really like about some of these projects that we're seeing now, is that if you don't want to have a border on it, you don't have to. Contemporary quilts often tend to not have borders on it, but you have the flexibility to easily extend this and make it your own by putting on a border. The other thing I don't know, since we haven't made it yet, is I don't know what kind of leftovers you have here. So you potentially, and I don't mark my word on this here, but you potentially have leftovers that you could do some sort of a scrappy border around here. So couldn't you imagine that, where you have just like a thin background to kind of frame it, and then do some sort of scrappy, that could be cool. Or of course you could take your favorite print, maybe something like this. Let's look at it closed. Okay, something like that. That would be really nice. Okay, lots of ways to extend it. And you have these nice pieced stars here that you could play with. So that is our Cheer and Merriment collection from local designer Stephanie Slewinski of Fancy That Design House. Barb is asking, does the panel come with a kit? And yes, it does. And you would only be using 3 of the squares with the kit. Let me just double check that you get the whole kit rather than just a part of it. Don't want to misspeak here. It says you do. They typically always do. I haven't opened this up yet, but we are going to be opening one up to make one. So I'm just going to open it up so that we can see that we have a full panel rather than just a half panel in here. You have a full panel in here. So you would be able to, do you see here how there's 6 designs? So you could choose which 3 you want to feature in the quilt. This particular quilt might be scalable to make larger. I don't have the math off the top of my head, but if you've been quilting for a while, you probably could somewhat easily figure out how to scale this a little bit bigger, of course, with buying some more fabric. And let me just put the link up on this collection here so that you can see that here. Okay. So Cheer and Merriment kit, $129.99. We have towers available, yardage available, all of the pre-cuts available. One more fabric line I want to talk to you about today. And one more that I want to talk to you about, and that is the Too Cute to Spook by Me and My Sister Designs. And so for the Too Cute to Spook, we're going to be featuring that as a featured collection next month. But I wanted to give you a little preview that we do in fact have that fabric here. I don't have half yards cut for you We will have half yard and fat quarter towers available of the whole collection. Let us know if you had needed that. I know that there may be a sew along going on with Too Cute to Spook fabric, and so if you were needing some of that before that quilt along gets started, you can absolutely come on in to pick that up. So the Too Cute to Spook by our friends Barb and Mary from Me and My Sister Designs. Super, super cute. And it is classic bright orange, crisp black, stark white, and their signature comic novelty design. So really, really nice. I don't know that Barb and Mary have done a Halloween line before, so it's super cool to be able to see that. And as I said, we will go through the full collection with you during our meeting next month when we offer it as one of our fabric packs of the month. All right, I'm just going to have to clear my throat here. Okay, so that might be signaling me that it is time to bring our time to a close. So, oh, Diane, did we have Free Spirit Club this month? Not yet, not yet. So we skipped last week because, well, I have a little bit of a cough. So, and we were also out of fabric. That's why we postponed it. Not out of fabric, didn't have the fabric. So we know that we have more Tim Holtz coming. It's in transit. So for next week, and Frank's giving me the look that we're getting more fabric. Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming. Great. He's letting me know that it's on its way in transit. So we have some new Tula to share with you, some Tim Holtz to share with you, some fun projects. So we'll be sharing an out of order Free Spirit Club with you next week. Okay, so next week, Thursday. Thank you for your patience with us flipping stuff around. And then we'll be sliding in our block of the month stuff at that time. So I apologize, but it's summer. So hopefully you are okay with that. And it'll be lots and lots of fun. Okay, the other exciting thing is that we have gotten in some really fun things from our friends at Shannon Fabric. And I just want to do a quick poll here. We have a trunk show that is going to be hanging in the shop on Saturday for you to look at. And I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow night, okay, Friday Night Fun, that I'm going to be sharing with you some really fun special things. So that would be, I just want to share with you that that's going to be tomorrow night. I was originally planning to do it in person, but I wasn't able to quick pull it together since I've been out for a couple days. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow night. So you'll want to tune in again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. It will be available to watch afterwards, but then there's going to be stuff to look at in store, which is super exciting as well. All right, so before I let you go, we're just going to quick do a recap of the kits that are available, or not kits, the fabric packs that are available for you to see. All right, so let's take a peek overhead. We're just going to recap. We have Cheer and Merriment by Fancy That Design House. Midnight in the Garden by Sweet Fire Road. We have Renew by Sweetwater, Flower Pot by Lella Boutique, Blue Color Builder by A Patchwork Curated Collection, and then we have Strawberry Friends, Kimberly Kite for Ruby Star Society. All of your materials will be ready for pickup tomorrow. If there was more than one collection that you liked, you are more than welcome to upgrade, pick up more than one collection, or if nothing trips your fancy, you can go backwards into the Moda buffet of beautiful stacks. And of course, if you're not a club member, no problem. We have lots of beautiful fabric stacks that we would love to hook you up with. Fat 8th size, $24.99. Fat quarter size, $44.99. If this looks like fun and you wanted to join us all year long, just let us know. We'd be more than happy to fill you in on all the information. We have lots of great Shop Hop fabric still here and lots of good stuff to always see. And the new fabric, oh my gosh, the new fabric has just been pouring on in. We can't wait to see you. If I had missed any of your comments, I will be sure to go back along the way. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night as well at 7 o'clock for a fun, crazy Friday night fun with me. And look forward to seeing you with all of the great, fun, amazing things. Happy quilting, and we will see you soon.